Hey everyone, welcome to
SNA Let's Play.
Today we'll be starting Chapter 6 of Tatsuya's route. It's getting pretty cool. Called Polar Opposites. If you hear a baby in the background, I am sorry. That is my son. Takumi takes me to a place that has slowly begun to become familiar to me.
Oh.
I look at him with a frown. And he grins back at me. You wanted to see where he was going, right? Well, this is where he works. Oh, really? Here? As I look around trying to spot Tatsuya, I recall the last time I was here. While I was trying to leave without getting his attention, I do remember hearing Chisaki say something about getting Tatsuya a job. You sit somewhere and I'll go make sure Tatsuya is at the server we get. I can't talk fast with him. Takumi strides off before I can say a word. It's not too busy today, so finding a seat isn't hard. I've barely sat down when Takumi shows up with a very grumpy-looking Tatsuya in tow.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, hello.
Nice uniform. Takumi pops down. Takumi plops down in the seat He should have plopped down beside her, so he'd get jealous.
He should have.
Takumi plops down in the seat opposite mine, as Tatsuya stands at the table. Alright, server.
I'm going to know that he's irritated. I'll be your server today at the explicit request.
Explicit.
I know.
Explicit. That's an interesting way to say it.
No.
Explicit.
I'll be your server today at the I'll be your server today at the explicit request of someone.
Wonder who. Tatsuya throws Takumi an annoyed look, and Takumi grins back at him. Man, I could totally see Takumi doing that.
I can totally see that. He likes to irritate him.
Shouldn't you introduce yourself properly? Tatsuya sighs deeply.
You know my name already.
When he finally looks at me, I feel somehow braver. So is this where you've been spending all your time? No, wait, that's not right. Right? So is this where you've been spending all your time? My son agrees. Tatsuya shifts his weight from one foot to the other, his eyes looking at anywhere but me. Then he seems to make a decision finally and looks back at me.
Yes, I need the money, so I have to put my job first. Now, are you two going to order anything, or did you just come to waste my time?
Oh. His words are frosty, but I smile anyway. Frosty, get it? Because he's an ice.
Yeah.
And iced tea. Black coffee for me. Oh, that sucked. Black coffee for me. That's weird too, but oh well. Tatsuya gives Takumi a very long stare. That's awesome.
And how many have you had today?
Maybe 3?
Taku.
What? Just more won't kill me. Seriously, I checked online. Another long stare from Tatsuya.
Fine. Will there be anything else?
When we shake our heads no, Tatsuya turns on his heel and walks off towards the kitchen. Look, you get to talk more in this one.
No, but that's hilarious with that whole thing.
I like that.
They like to joke around with him.
Well, they are roommates.
I mean, yeah.
As I watch him leave, Takumi starts to speak. It's Mrs. Yukimura that got him the job here, you know. She brought Tatsu down a few weeks ago and asked the owner for a job for him. Even though he was totally against it. I don't say anything, but my thoughts jump back to that night, with Katsunosuke when I saw... I don't say anything, but my thoughts jump back to that night with Katsunosuke when I was... Of course he plays with the Altoids box, so it's so loud. I don't say anything... I don't say anything, but my thoughts jump back to that night with Katsunosuke when I saw Tatsuya here with his mom. So back then they were here to get Tatsuya a job. I was right. Looking around the coffee house, an idea starts to form in my mind.
Oh no.
Since Tatsuya probably spends a lot of time here anyway, this could be the perfect place to do that business assignment.
Ooh.
Not only that, but if I got a job here too, it'd help me get experience, as well as a chance to get closer to Tatsuya.
Oh, okay.
I look at Takumi. Takumi, do you know where I can find the owner? Takumi doesn't seem surprised by my random question in the slightest. He points at a very tall, red-haired man behind the bar. That's him. His name is Galen. Oh, and you don't call him sir if you want to get on his good side. Somehow he seems to have easily figured me out again. Without further comment, I get up and make my way to the bar area. As if sensing my approach, Galen turns to look at me with a slight smile.
Oh, I love his hair.
You be him, because I'm so many people's.
Yes, I will. I definitely will.
Hey, I know I hear you.
Anything I can do for you?
That's a guy.
I know.
Back.
Anything I can do?
What's that sound? I don't know. To me, he may have like a...
I think he's a little...
I believe he's carefree. Like,
yeah. Like,
but he's also to the point.
Yeah. Anything I could do for you?
Child. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Tatsuya glance at me. Yes, I hope so, Galen, right? Brr. Yes, I hope so. Galen, right? I was wondering if you're currently hiring. The owner doesn't say anything at first. Something akin to amusement dances in his green eyes. I can't even begin to comprehend what he might be thinking, but the silence starts to make me nervous. Galen tilts his head to the side and smiles.
I am indeed. I am always looking for good help.
I notice Tatsuya finish preparing the drinks and start moving closer to us. Nosy much? No. Then would it be possible for me to apply? Actually, I was also hoping to speak to you about an assignment for our school's business club too.
Of course. Tatsuya is already doing an assignment on Veritas, so one more is fine with me. Duh, 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 duh.
Without me realizing it, Tatsuya had come close enough to hear everything.
Oh, his eyes are just like, oh.
He had the
like
oh crap look.
Like, oh, crap.
Seeing him standing behind Galen, looking so shocked, almost makes me want to laugh. Yeah, I would laugh too. I move closer to Tatsuya, trying not to look too smug. See? Now you can keep an eye on me, and you won't have any excuses. Plus, since you were already doing the assignment, we can work on it together. Yeah, he agrees.
Do you have the time to fill out the paperwork right now?
I turned back to Galen. Tatsuya doesn't show any reaction to what I said, though. Well, that's fine for now. This is enough. I choose to ignore him entirely and focus on Galen. Yes, I do. For the first time in a while, I feel like I'm walking on clouds. He won't be able to avoid me now if we're working together.
Yep, there you go.
You go, girl. Galen produces a pile of papers from seemingly out of nowhere and hands them to me. The cheerfulness overtakes me, and I practically float back to my seat, feeling vindicated.
Oh yeah, she's happy because then she'll be able to be with her man.
Oh, I know, right? She'll keep an eye on her man. He can't cheat on her with that Haruna. Just kidding. I drop the pile of papers on the table and plop down in my chair.
Plop.
Plop. Takumi takes one look at the paperwork and grins. So you really are going to apply for a job here? Yes, I decided it would be the best option for me right now. Tatsuya is supposed to be my partner in class and business club, but he's busy, right? So this makes the most sense. As I start to work through the paperwork, my mind slowly drifts to other things. Like exactly just how busy Tatsuya is. I can't ignore the worry building in my chest. Tatsuya is taking on so much work now, he might end up burning himself out like this. I do my best to push those thoughts away and make a serious effort of starting to filling out the papers Galen gave me. That one's a hard sentence. I managed to fill everything in a couple of hours. A couple of hours? How many papers was it? My wrists are killing me, but I finished everything and handed it in to Galen. Takumi stayed with me all throughout that, and I ended up being grateful for his cheerful company. When I was done, he offered to walk me home. Overall, I feel much better after having visited Veritas. Thanks for helping me, Takumi. Takumi throws his hands behind his neck and stretches. Show off. No problem. I'll always help you if you need it, partner. Oh. Something clicks in my mind. A memory of a time with a little white-haired boy with chubby cheeks and me, a little girl who he always called partner while we played. Now I know for sure. You're Taku, right? He stares at me. Yeah? Oh, did you finally remember me? Oh my gosh, yes. How long has this been? I smile and nod at him. I had thought so, but you're so different now. I wasn't sure. The Taku I knew was so much smaller and adorable. He was like the perfect little brother. So does that mean I'm way too sexy and cool now for you to see me like that? Blood rushes to my cheeks, and I could feel my face starting to burn. What? No! I mean, no, not just. That's not exactly what I meant. His expression turns curious. So what do you mean? I just meant that you're edgier, different. I don't know. More dangerous somehow. Oh, tell me more. He prompts me with a big grin, making me laugh. Stop it! Anyway, I'm really glad to see you again. I never thought I would. Though I don't know what you've been up to in all that black gear. I hope nothing illegal. Hey, you got me all wrong. I'm on the right side of the law. Mostly. What does he mean by mostly? Well, okay. Just don't do anything too dangerous. I know Yasu would have a heart attack. Taku looks momentarily surprised for some reason. He looks away as his smile falls. Right. Yasu. Yeah, he really would. Before I can say much else, we arrive at my apartment building. I turn to Takumi, feeling thankful and happy to see my old friend again, all at once. Thanks so much on the night I found you at Kasuma's. I know for sure that you didn't do anything with Katsu that night. Oh, how do you know? And that's because you like Tatsuya, don't you?
Oh! There you go. He knew it.
Whatever I wanted to say to him fades almost instantly with his words. ... Exclamation point.
What?
Hate floods my face.
There you go. There you go.
No, I don't.
Did you just deny that?
Yes.
Where
would you get that idea? I barely know the guy. And he's rude, and moody, and mean, and he's barely even helped me as a partner. So, Takumi puts his index finger over my lips to stop me. Then his hand falls to his side, and he steps back with a small smile. It's always been someone else, but I'm glad this time it was Tatsuya.
What?
Does that mean he's always had a crush on her? That's what it sounds like. He pauses for a moment. Tatsuya has a hard time connecting with people. The guy works too much, hardly ever does anything for fun, and I think he's pretty lonely. So he could use someone like you. If you're really into him, I'll help you get him. Oh.
Okay. ...
I open my mouth to say something, but it's even hard to form thoughts, much less get any words out. Smiling brightly, Takumi quickly looks away from me. For a moment, I could swear that I see tears forming in his eyes. Oh. Oh. But he turns on his heel, away from me, before I can tell for sure. When he speaks, it's in a voice that's a bit higher than usual. Well, see you later. Wait, Taku! Before I can say anything else, though, Takumi jogs off and disappears on the horizon.
Oh.
Taku, you can't. No, I'm probably just misinterpreting things.
No, P likes you.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
That really does.
It's almost like a puppy that was told no, just walking away, you know?
Those tears for me.
I know. I climb the stairs with my feelings in a completely jumbled up mess. Yeah, I understand, girl. When I get inside, I move in a daze towards my sofa and drop down on it. Man, that's a nice apartment.
Yeah, I know.
I never realized it, but it is.
It's a very nice apartment.
I don't really like him, do I? Yeah, you do, girl. Stop questioning it. Immediately, memories of my time with Tatsuya flash through my head. When I think about it, I guess it's not that hard to see that we have a lot in common. We're both interested in business, we're both the type to take our studies seriously, and we're both logical people. I understand the way he thinks. I feel safe around him, like I can just relax and trust in his confidence. He can even be very sweet at times, and it makes me want to find out more about him. But I can't think of him without thinking of her, Haruna. Yeah, that's why you like him. You're jealous.
Yeah.
And I can never forget how he acted around her, how he looked at her. The very memory makes my stomach churn. I shake my head, shooing those thoughts away. No more of that. Tonight, I'll just focus on something else. Something fun and relaxing.
Like anime?
Right? Like Secure Sparkle Cure?
Anime.
I will myself to think of anything but that as I get up to go to my room. I prepare myself for an evening of nothing but me and my laptop playing games well into the night. Yesterday ended up being a bit of a mixed bag. The good thing is that I managed to find a way to spend more time with Tatsuya. The bad thing is that I had to distract myself from negative feelings about Tatsuya. Needless to say, I spent way too many hours playing video games and watching anime instead of focusing on homework. Anime. See, we were right. She got the anime. I ended up falling asleep midway through the last episode of Secure Sparkle Cure.
Of course.
And I didn't have enough time in the morning to watch what I slept through. I hold back a sigh and look around the lobby. After school, Dad called me again and invited me back to sit in on another meeting. only it's with Katsu again. Dun dun dun. From the moment I stepped into the Shinimura lobby, my stomach began to feel like it's filled with lead. Meeting Katsu again after what happened last week makes me feel beyond uncomfortable. I can barely sit still without the overwhelming feeling of wanting to run away taking over me. Will he say anything to my father? Yeah, she slept in my bed the other night, no.
Oh, God.
That'd be kind of creepy.
That would be.
My heart pounds uncomfortably fast in my chest. Will he tell him that I have powers? Of course I saw him use his abilities, so that means I could rat him out as well. Would he even care if I did, though?
I don't think he would.
Many thoughts swirl in my mind. He may know, though. He may know something about your mom that you don't know about.
No, but I do believe that her dad actually knows more than what she thinks.
Right. But the fact is that Katsu could tell my father about me regardless of whether I'm here or not, so I decided to go. I almost jump out of my skin when I hear a familiar voice greet me. Hey there. Creepy. Oh no. Blech. Oh no, I didn't expect to see him so soon. Why are you looking at me like that? As if I was some sort of bad guy. I don't say anything and just stare up at him. I'm not even sure what to say to him now. Whatever it is, he understands from my silence. I'm not sure, but he gives a short laugh. He doesn't say anything else, letting the quiet settle between us while we wait. I try my best to ignore the awkwardness that I feel. But as the seconds tick away, I start to get more and more fidgety. For a brief moment, I actually consider striking up a conversation with Katsunosuke. But the elevator doors open with a ding, and Dad walks out. As he walks towards us, he smiles at me.
Mr. Kazuma, good to see you again. It works.
Right, there you go. Dad and Katsu briefly nod at each other. Then he turns to me.
And Sujin, it's nice to see that you decided to come after all. I'd like you to join us through the rest of this negotiation as much as Kazuma does. He was the one to request your presence this time.
Of course he
Of
did.
course.
I smile and nod along with what my father is telling me. But a sensation of dread rapidly spreads throughout my body. I follow after Dad and Katsu into the elevator, with my eyes on Katsunosuke's back. So he asked for me? I have no idea of predicting what Katsu might be plotting, but knowing that he asked for me to be here puts me on high alert. Neither of the men seem to notice that there's something on my mind as we go up to Father's office. The meeting goes on without any issue, and despite whatever I was expecting Katsu to do, it really doesn't seem like he has any ulterior motives. As far as I can tell for now, anyway.
Yeah.
Right? Katsunosuke quietly reads over some contracts my father had given him, his turquoise eyes scanning over every word. He puts down the papers and finally looks up at my father with an easy smile. The conditions seem fine, and the amount you're offering is more than generous.
Then do you?
Father's words are muffled by the sudden commotion outside the office door. You gonna be a receptionist too?
Please, sir, Mr. Shinimura is in the middle of a meeting.
What's going on?
Please stop. You can't just... Please wait.
I turn to Dad and Katsu, but they seem to be just as confused as I am.
Oh no, wait!
I can see that Dad is about to get up to go and see what's going on when the office doors burst open with a bang.
Oh, I knew it.
Tatsuya? Tatsuya stands at the doorway.
I'm so sorry, Mrs. Shinimura. He just wouldn't stop.
I almost miss it, but I can swear that I see his eye twitch slightly when he looks at Katsunosuke.
He's like glaring at him with a smile, and he's just.
Oh, God. I think Daddy's a little surprised.
Yeah.
He looks right at my father, and when he speaks, his voice doesn't waver in the slightest.
My name is Tatsuya Yukimura, and as someone who will be directly affected by this plan, I have right to listen in on these negotiations. I'll stand in on behalf of the entire Yukimura family whose assets are being sold.
I hold my breath at the sudden tension that permeates the room. Just what the hell is going on here? Katsu is selling the Yukimura's businesses? But that means... Are they related?
Yes.
Father stands up slowly, looking less than happy.
I'm not sure if that's appropriate, Mr. Yukimura.
Father glances at Katsunosuke, who lets out a chuckle. Why not if he wants to so badly? I'd like to hear what Snowflake has to say about anyway. Oh, apparently he has a nickname for him. Snowflake?
I do believe that they are related because he's water.
Yeah, both of them.
And he's ice.
When I look at Tatsuya, he doesn't react to the odd nickname at all. It's as if he didn't realize he was being called that or was simply used to it.
If that's your wish, then. Miss Yamaguchi, thank you. That'll be all.
Miss Yamaguchi bows her head and retreats out of the room.
I apologize for interrupting. I won't do it again.
With that, he takes one of the remaining empty armchairs in front of the conference table. As he sits down, he glances at me, but other than the slight raise of his eyebrows, he shows no other signs of recognizing me. Now then, since everything is settled, why don't we continue the meeting? Mr. Shinamura, if you will. ...
Question.
Exclamation
I
point.
know, that sounds cute. My brain did that when you say it. ... Exclamation point.
Next.
Oh yes, of course.
Okay, that's an interesting way to say it, but alright, we're going for it.
That's not what I wanted to say. Oh yes, of course.
I hold back a giggle. It's so strange to see Dad looking so flustered for once. I suppose...
We'll just laugh for you.
Right? I suppose he's not used to having people burst in on meetings.
Apparently not.
I guess not. I haven't seen him blush since that time of... As soon as the thought starts to form, I shut it down. No, this is not the time to No, this is not the time to be remembering her.
She's not your mother. She's a witch.
Right? And you're not even a human. Huh?
No!
Dad sits back down in his chair and straightens himself up. I focus all my attention on him and the meeting.
Oh.
Rokuro!
Yes, so as I was saying, I have decided to go ahead with purchasing not just all of the property that the Kazuma family owns, but that of the entire Ryu clan.
Katsunosuke remains quiet. He doesn't seem... Katsunosuke remains quiet. He doesn't seem at all bothered when Tatsuya suddenly speaks instead.
And what will happen to all the employees? We'll keep employees where we can, but honestly, not all shops will be considered viable. Some affected businesses will be closed and where possible. The employees and other stores will be laid off with a sizable servant's check.
Tatsuya's face twists in anger. He leans forward to the desk and my father.
So you'll just close down shops that mean everything to my family, like it's nothing. You're not even bothering to ask the people themselves what they think or if they even want this.
But Shinamura is offering more than enough money to buy out the businesses, and the employees could go on to live happy lives.
Did you ask him that then? If it's something that will make them happy? You think that people will be glad to lose their life's work? To lose their dreams? All for some money?
What? I didn't... When he puts it that way, it doesn't sound bad. But it's only the businesses that are doing poorly in the first place that would get closed down. We would never just take away people's dreams. Katsunosuke's eyes are on me as I argue with Tatsuya. His eyes sparkle with what I can only call delight. It's as if he's highly entertained by all this.
Sujin, that's enough. It looks like we won't be able to reach the consensus comfortably today, Mr. Kazuma. ...
Exclamation point. Hearing my father's words, I snap back to reality. I finally comprehend that I've been having an argument with what is essentially one of Father's clients. It seems so. I hate to admit it, but if the Yukimuras are involved now, I'll need a bit more time.
We'll need to have the Ryu's final answer on the deal before the end of the fiscal quarter next month.
I'm well aware. I'll think about how to handle the matter and be in touch. Katsu rises to his feet. Father follows suit, and they exchange a quick handshake. He then looks down at me. I can't read what he's thinking. Sujin, I'd like to have a word with you outside if you would. Reluctant feels like an understatement to describe what I'm feeling now. I look to my father. I wanted to talk to him about my mother as well as some other things today, but I see him urging me to go along with Katsu with his eyes. Guess I'll just ask another time then. Thank you for inviting me, Father. I'll talk to you later then. As I get up from my seat, Tatsuya refuses to look at me. I realize that he wants to stay behind to talk to my father. With a heavy heart, I follow after Katsunosuke, and we walk out of the room together. We're out on the sidewalk, maybe only a few steps away from the Shinamura entrance, when Katsunosuke suddenly spins around. He gets in my face to the point I back into a wall. Oh. Cornered between him and the wall, I have no choice but to look up at him. I want to continue our conversation from earlier. I want to know. Why do you seem so afraid and uncomfortable about me? Has someone talked to you about me? What? Like who? Talk to me about what? Katsu doesn't answer, just keeps scrutinizing with those surprisingly hard eyes. I just have some questions about what happened that night. Is that all then? I'd be happy enough to answer them when you come on that date I asked for. We didn't get to finish it after all. Creepy. I look away, not feeling up to dealing with him after everything that happened in the meeting. I just need to get away from Katsunosuke somehow. Hey. As if hearing my thoughts, he follows my line of vision. Thinking about getting away from me? Exactly why is that anyway? After that amusing little argument, I've been wondering, could it be you're interested in Snowflake?
Are you interested in Snowflake?
Okay, let's see. We're going to say I've seen him around school. He's just someone I know from school. I was surprised to see him here. I can't imagine. Are you guys really related? In a way.
In a way.
Katsu doesn't say anything more, simply staring deeply enough into my eyes to make me uncomfortable. Regarding that date, since I don't have time today, I'll take you out tomorrow. Yeah, maybe. I prefer a yes. Katsu doesn't seem willing to back off at all. I rack up my brain trying to come up with some good excuse that I could give him.
You go follow your daddy.
But I'm drawing a blank. After what happened last time, there's no way I'm going on a date with this creep. But I can't be too rude to him as long as he's a client of Father's. Who do you think this is? I don't know.
Tatsuya, maybe?
I'll just say Suya. Suya. Sujin? ... Exclamation point. Hearing someone call out my name, Katsu and I both turned to look at the newcomer.
Oh!
Sho! Of all people! Like she said. Sho is the last person I had expected to see here. He looks seriously from Katsunosuke to me. His usual smile is not present. He takes a step closer to us. His eyes are focused on Katsu. Sho? Hey. I'm Sho Hattori, a friend of Sujin. Do you know Sujin? Huh? What? Luckily, Katsu doesn't seem to notice my confusion. His eyes are entirely focused on Sho. I almost sigh in relief when Katsu backs away and fully turns to face him. Thanks, Sho. Katsunosuke Kasema. A pleasure, I'm sure. As for if we know each other, you could say that. He looks down at me again and leans to whisper in my ear. I'll see you later. Creepy. Seemingly satisfied for the moment, Katsunosuke saunters away without bothering to acknowledge Sho any further. Sho comes to stand next to me, although his eyes follow Katsu for a while until his form is lost in the crowds. Are you alright, Sujin? Yes, much better now. Who was that guy anyway? Was he your boyfriend? Of course, the first question he asks. No, he's just some guy who seems to like me. Like every guy in this story. Except for your dad.
Yeah.
I'm honestly thankful that you showed up when you did. This is the way I take to go to Choa. And anyone could see that guy was being creepy with some girl. I was just surprised to see that it was you. Can I manage to avoid him next time? I get the feeling Katsu won't back off again. I look at Sho and smile. Well, anyway, thank you for helping me out. Sure, happy to help. I'll see you later, Sho. I give him a little wave as I walk away, but my thoughts weigh heavily on my heart. I somehow ended up caught in the middle of this negotiation in the worst way possible. I start feeling nauseous the more I think about it. What if I really mess up the deal horribly for Dad? How can I expect to take over after him when I'm such a mess? I didn't even think about it before I started arguing with Tatsuya. At this point, I'm not worthy of the position at all. I sigh and shake my head, trying to clear myself of the gloominess that threatens to take over me. If I don't get it together, Dad might want KO to become his successor. I don't think she'd forgive me if she were forced into that. Although I can't stop myself from feeling miserable, I decide that I won't let myself fail. Not until I've at least tried my best. Pushing those thoughts aside for now, I turn to walk towards the station. Already feeling exhausted from the day's events, I can't wait to go home. Oh, we did it. We did it.
Yep. And the next one's going to be awesome.
Right?
Yep.
All right, that was chapter 6. We'll see what chapter 7 is about next time. But man, it's getting pretty, what's the word? Exciting?
Yeah, it is getting more exciting because now we're getting more guys
now we're
all
finding
showing
out,
up.
Yeah, now we're finding that Katsu has something to do with Tatsuya, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like they're related in some kind of way.
Right.
Because one's ice, one's water. I mean,
we'll see. Well, see you guys in the next video and hope you enjoyed. Bye.